What do you got for us? Oh my god. Good morning, Max. Max? Milk. What? If I don't have a glass of milk before I go on stage, I just can't function, sweetie. Stage? Don't worry, there won't be a stage. All you have to do is sit down. I guess. Nick, Max is really nervous. It's understandable. He's on trial for murder. Hey, my sweeties. What? You don't think I should fly, do you? Huh? You know, you've got to make a good first impression. When I enter the room, maybe I should fly in and warm up the crowd a little. No. We can't be having you flying around the courtroom. It just wouldn't be right. Imagine if you hit someone. Don't worry, Max. Just do what Nick says and everything will be okay. Oh, sweetie. What is it this time, Max? Why don't you try flying into the courtroom? I can see it now. The dashing young lawyer flying fabulously in from above. One glimpse of that and everyone in the room will be on your side. Max, really, no one needs to fly today. Nick, what's with that look in your eyes? I like the sound of that, you know? Dashing young lawyer flying fabulously. No? No? Not us? Oh. Where's Mia? Bring on Mia. She's got that whip. What? You're on it, get on with it. Oh, sorry. I just realized the defendant's name is Billy Bob Johns. So... well, isn't the defendant also known as Maximilian Galactica? Yes, Your Honor, he does often go by that name. You know my grandchild is a huge fan of his. I think everyone here wouldn't mind if we call the defendant Maximilian Galactica. Sounds more friendly. I wonder if that is our advantage. Miss Von Karma, your opening statement, if you please. I hope you didn't bother thinking you'd win this one, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Eh? That spirit channeling trial was a sham. I refuse to acknowledge its legitimacy. It did not count. Do you hear me? Yeah, I'm undefeated in everything I've played when I don't count the losses as well. She must still be upset about what happened last time. You have no chance. Zero, zilch, nada. I'm not losing this case. Why, you ask? Because it is not in the nature of Von Karma to lose at anything. You'd lost last week. I guess being born with the name Von Karma is a free pass to be arrogant and annoying. Watch and learn, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'll show you the textbook procedure for proving how absolutely guilty you are. Me? Guilty? What are you talking... Man, that whip. It will be my ultimate revenge. It's not like it'll bring her dad back. Whoa, too soon maybe, Maya? Like, it's a bit harsh. There, opening statement complete. Now let's hurry up and wrap up this waste of time. Very well. You may call your first witness, Miss Von Karma. Detective Dick Gumshoe, get up there now. I mean, I thought they would have got Max in. Sorry to keep you from work, as I'm sure you need every penny you can earn, Detective. Don't mention it. There's no trouble at all. I've been looking forward to this. Very well. I would like you to begin by shedding light on the events in question. At your thur. All right, Detective. You may proceed with your testimony. The night of the crime, snow was falling until 9:40 p.m., making it extremely cold out. All of the circus performers were gathered in the big top to practice their routines. Their practice session broke up around 10 p.m. The murder itself took place in the plaza from the front of the lodging house at 10:15 p.m. The victim was found bent over a wooden box, dead as a doornail. The cause of death was blunt force trauma that snapped the vertebrae in his neck. I see. He was beaten to death. Here is the autopsy report for the victim. The court accepts this into evidence. Blunt force trauma to back of the head. Do we have a weapon? A blunt object. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Well, that was... Well, as is tradition, we don't have any, anything to go on. Press everything. Let me ask you about the snow. It was nearly a blizzard up until the time of the crime. Did it pile up? It wasn't such a big deal. Maybe about 1.5 inches was on the ground. The snow froze in place and stayed on the ground until the next day. The snow, let me see. There's got to be more to this. What's the matter, Nick? I need to take a look at the court record. Mr. Gumshoe, what were the members of the circus doing at the night of the crime? Oh, the circus. Big top. Okay, we wanted to have a look at something. Let's have a... Oh, can we look at the autopsy report? Oh, we can't look at it. That doesn't have more detail then? Okay, doesn't matter. Alright, we'll press that one. When you say all of the circus performers, who do you mean? Everyone but the dancers and staff were there. Regina the animal trainer, Mo the clown, Ben the ventriloquist, and of course the defendant, Maximilian Galactica, and his victim, the ringmaster. Oh, I almost forgot. Regent the tiger was there as well. Out of curiosity, what about the circus monkey? When I was investigating yesterday, he happened to snatch my wristwatch. Detective, you are welcome to file a police report after these proceedings. The practice session broke up around 10 p.m. After the practice was over, where did everyone head off to? Regina was playing with Regent, while Mo went back to his room tired from work. Ben the ventriloquist went to the front gate absorbed in his own world. The ringmaster Mac went off to the ringmaster's room to talk privately. Talk privately, huh? That's awfully suspicious. You wouldn't happen to know what they were talking about, would you? It seemed they were negotiating Max's salary. Ooh, but we know they weren't. I wonder if we... Do we present this now? Oh, we can't. Actually, Max is asking for Regina's hand in marriage. Got that one wrong. The murder itself took place in the plaza in front of the lodging house at 10:15 p.m. I'd like you to be a bit more specific about the events at 10:15 p.m. Okay, not a problem, pal. We've got a witness that told us how the whole thing went down. Ow! This is totally meaningless. Time to move on. Alright. We'll just have to revisit that testimony later. Detective Gumshoe, would you mind telling us how the victim met his end? The victim was found bent over a wooden box, dead as a doornail. A wooden box? That's right. The victim must have been carrying the wooden box when he was killed. Carrying the box, huh? It was a rather strange wooden box, Your Honor. What do you mean? Well, it was much heavier than it looked. Not to mention it was locked. Locked, you say? The victim was hunched over this 20-pound box. It boasts a small but strong lock. This is the lock-picking lawyer. What we have here today is a Carney folk traditional lockbox. It's maybe my only chance to ask some questions. So maybe we do. And we know about the box, and we know about the lock. Let's check the contents first in case we only get one question. Do you mind telling us what was inside? What's in the box? Well, when we found the box, it would lock tighter than Fort Knox. We took it back to the station and cracked it open. All that was inside was this little bottle. Bottle? What is that, detective? Exactly what it looks like, Your Honor. It's a condiment bottle. What's inside the bottle? It's filled with pepper. Pepper? Why in the world was it lodged in that big box? There's only one little bottle in that huge box. I wonder if that has some sort of special meaning. Small seasoning bottle found inside the wooden box the victim was hunched over. It contains pepper. The cause of death was a blunt force trauma that snapped the vertebrae in his neck. According to the autopsy report, the murder weapon was a blunt object, correct? You've done your homework, pal. No, you just told me, like, a minute ago. And you haven't found this murder weapon, have you? The police are searching for it as we speak. My theory is that's something the perpetrator ran off with. You would think so, especially since you didn't find it on the scene. No. I bet he made it disappear with magic. I think we have a good feel for the details of the event now. I guess that's all we're going to get out of Gumshoe in this case. You mean all we're going to get out of him is that little bottle of pepper? Now that we have wrapped up with the detective, I'd like to call my next witness. I'm not even off the stand yet. Obviously, that's due to you being slow and unable to take a hint. I don't know, but wrapped up has such a mean sound to it. I'm a sensitive guy. Thank you very much, Detective Gumshoe. You may step down. Miss Von Karma, call your next witness. I don't think we've had a witness get up and get dismissed so quickly off that. Like, our cross-examination was nothing. I would like to call Mr. Benjamin Woodman to the stand. She must be talking about Ben the ventriloquist. I wonder if Trilo will show up on the stand as well. Please state your name and occupation for the record. My full name is Trilo Quist. I'm employed as an operatic tenor. Excuse me. The witness called to the stand was one Mr. Benjamin Woodman, ventriloquist. That rope must be cutting the circulation too. I thought I was a singer. Maybe you don't believe me. Fine, I'll grace you with a song. Ahem. Me. The world of the law, exciting and daring, guilt or innocent. Decided by a judge dressed up like a woman. Well, what do you think? I had a good rhythm. It's just the lyrics. They leave something to be desired, so to speak. Reload. You know better than to insult a judge. Shut up. Just look at your nose. What do you think? I've the sense to fix it. It's so ugly I want to punch you in the face, and the off chance swelling would help. You know that your nose is the reason you'll never be an A-list star. Celebrities must really enjoy saying everything that flashes into their minds. What's going on here? Order! I demand to know what the witness is. Who the witness is. Don't worry about me, sir. I'll let Trilo handle this. I'm not worried about you one bit. I'm worried about getting testimony in my court. Ouch! You won't get anywhere trying to figure it out with this witness. Now let's proceed. Once practice was over, I left the tent with the stooge, I mean clown. Once we got to the lodging house, I ditched him and went back to the plaza's entrance. That's when I saw Max heading towards the scene of the crime. He was the only one heading that way. How could that punk not be the killer? Then the police showed up and took Magic Boy away. You saw Maximilian Galactica heading towards the scene. You're sure of that? Without a doubt. He had on his silk hat, cloak, and the dumb white roses on his chest. How can you mistake someone with that crazy get-up and his nose stuck up so high? That's enough. I think we all get the picture. Just one thing. You said you ditched the clown? That's right, dress boy. Since you weren't with him, couldn't that mean the clown committed the crime? He's got a point. What a shame. It's a nice theory, but the clown can't be the culprit. Why's that? Here's the absolute proof. Ah, silk hat. This was found at the scene of the crime. It belongs to the defendant. Without question, he was wearing his signature hat during practice. If the clown was the murderer, there would be no reason for his hat to be at the scene. Well done, Miss Von Karma. Your prosecutorial skills are unrivaled. Well done. Thank you for stating obvious. Mr. Phoenix Wright, what do you have to say? Okay. I guess she's the boss again today. Cross-examination. He left the tent with the clown. Got to the lodging, he ditched him and went back. Max was heading to see the crime. He's the only one heading that way. How could he not be the killer? I don't think so. I saw Max head towards the scene. Are you sure it was Max? Are you sure it was really Max Galactica? That's what I was thinking. Of course I'm sure. How could you mistake someone wearing such a snobby three-piece getup? Snobby three-piece getup. Get the wax out of your ears, lawyers nowadays. You're like talking to a brick wall. Max's three-piece getup. Geez, could you be any more dense? All together now. Silk, hat, cloak, white roses. Thank you. Nick, I think you should put a little bit more effort into preparing your questions. You saw Max and only Max, right, Trilo? That's right. That makes him the killer. There's only one person headed that way that night. That makes a bit of sense. Makes Max one suspicious character. There's more to this story than meets the eye, is there? There's something amiss. Oh, I do have a problem, but there's no proof it was Max. He'll say, how can you miss it, everybody now? White Hat Killer, so we can say Ben only saw Max. It's probably the best option. If only Max was heading that way, then there was no... then there must be no victim. That's a bit strange, don't you think? What's strange? That you only saw Max. Doesn't it seem like you should have seen someone else as well? What? Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Who else do you suppose this witness could have seen? Yeah, the victim? Russell Berry.
Take that!
That's the victim. That's correct. If Trilo was at the entrance to the plaza, he should have seen the ringmaster as well. Obviously, the ringmaster arrived at the scene of the crime before the witness. Could have seen him. Anyone with a sense could have figured that one out. What are you talking about? The ringmaster and Max went together to the ringmaster's room. Look, I think this is the hat and coat. Unless he put his own hat on the hat rack, but I don't think so. I think there's a second one. We'll find out. Is that according to the defendant? A likely story. If Maximilian Galactica was supposed to be in the ringmaster's room, why was he just as the witness stated? At the scene of the crime. Witness is lying? I see. It seems that at this stage I have no reason to doubt this witness's testimony. And there are clearly no conclusive contradictions. That is true. He's right. A brilliant judgment, Your Honor. Now let's move along with the testimony. Trilo wouldn't happen to have an ulterior motive for incriminating Max, would he? Yeah, they both want to marry Regina. Well, Max is part of that bit of love triangle with Regina. I said that, which is probably why Max conked him over the head. Nick, wasn't Ben the one who got knocked over the head? Yeah, I think so. I don't know anymore. Once practice was over, I left the tent with a stooge. I mean, clown. So Max went to the plaza's entrance. Why'd you ditch the clown? And what time did the police arrive at the scene? I suppose that would have been around... Hey, what time was it? Huh? I think it was around... I'd say a bit after 10:30, I think. Practice ended at 10 PM, so you hung around the lodging house the entire time. I guess that sounds about right. Wasn't it awfully cold? I can't believe you'd just stand outside in that weather. Well, the truth is... Will you shut up, you big-nosed dope? Why are you telling him anything extra? Why can't you believe we'd just stand outside in that weather? Or maybe you were waiting for someone. What? Who said we were waiting for someone?
Objection!
Mr. Phoenix Wright, we can all do without your off-handed theories.
Objection!
But this witness, he's cracking under the pressure already. I'm onto something. Mr. Wright. Who do you suppose the witness was waiting for out in the cold that night? Yeah, this one's really heavy on using the profiles. First one kind of introduced it a little bit.
Take that!
Take that! Well, if he was waiting outside in the cold, it was for one person. And one person only. He was waiting for the animal tamer. Regina. What? The head and the hands go. You were waiting outside for Regina to come back to the lodging house. Am I mistaken? Is this true? Well, you can't really ask me that question. Who cares who I was waiting for that night? What's important is what I saw. Don't you forget it. Well, the puppet may be a bit stiff, but he's right. Huh? Alright. There's obviously a reason why this witness was there that night. He spent all that time waiting for Regina to arrive. Moreover, even if someone else would have walked right in front of him, I doubt he would have paid them a second thought. Huh? That makes perfect sense. What did you just say? The witness saw the defendant at the scene of the crime.
Objection!
However, he did not see the victim on his way to his eventual demise. If you accept that, then you must accept that there was a high likelihood that he could have missed someone else other than Max heading to the... Ow! There's absolutely no proof that the witness was waiting for the animal tamer. I guess you got me. Alright. I spilled the beans for real this time. It's true, I was waiting for Regina. Pain. Don't volunteer things. Mr. Quist, tell us the truth this time, and I mean the whole truth. Were you or were you not waiting for Regina at the entrance to the lodging house? I was waiting to propose to her. You were what? Waiting to propose. What's the matter? You think the humans have a monopoly on marriage? The matter of puppet marriage is not under review in this case. You're the judge. I mean, look at your horrible outfit. More pain. Thanks to your bumbling, my perfect plan is no so perfect anymore. Now we have to waste time getting to the bottom of some silly proposal by a puppet. Don't be so surprised that I was going to propose to Regina. I even had something to give to her. I kept it in my pocket waiting for the chance to propose and give it to her. Of course, I also had it in my pocket that night. It was a present for her. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket. Does he? Because I thought we took it. You were going to propose. You, a puppet. Don't be so obtuse. Just because I'm a puppet doesn't mean that I can't love. I guess you're right. Just because I'm an old doesn't mean I couldn't propose to her too. Exactly. Okay, so now the judge is proposing to Regina as well. His Honor is looking a little less than honourable right now. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Wright. Please continue with your cross-examination. Sigh. What is with that sigh at the end? Yeah, what was that? I had something to give to her. What?
Hold it!
What was it exactly that you planned on giving her? You know exactly what I was going to give her, numbskull. The only thing I could find that could match Regina's beauty. Answer his question. What was it? You're going to die when you hear this. It's an engagement ring. Engagement ring. Wow, those two nearly fell out of their chairs. Mr. Phoenix Wright's jokes has gone too far. Time for this to end right now, right here. Franziska's whip looks like it's about to lash out at almost anything. One hit from that thing will probably shut someone up for a long time. Do we care? Maybe something of a joke, but this is a historic moment. The first time that a puppet has ever proposed to a Ow! I advise you to cut this argument short. I'm going to have to agree with the defense here. Will the witness please revise their testimony? Specifically about the engagement ring. I'd like to stick to facts, not sociology. You sure do enjoy sweating the details, especially for a man in a black bathrobe. I plan on giving an engagement ring to Regina. I kept it in my pocket, waiting for the chance to propose and give it to her.
Objection!
Trilo, do you mind if I show you something? What is it? What are you talking about? Looks like they're going to double team me now. You recognize this ring? Ah, that's mine. Give back. Thief! Thief! Did you just testify about this very object? I believe you said, in the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket. And why do I have it right here? Ah! What's going on here? That's... Ben, say something. Don't put me on the spot like that, Trilo. I found this in Money's room. Money's room? You mean a room they put money? Like a bank vault? Ha! That filthy monkey is gonna get what's coming to him. Mr. Quist, I'd prefer if you avoided slandering innocent fiats in my court. Innocent fiats? get the joke. Innocent Fiats. Like the car, the Fiat? Is that... Well, money really is a monkey, in every sense of the word. Oh, I see, well then. Money likes to go after the shiniest things that he can find and gather them up. Shiny things. Trilo, when was this ring stolen from you? Well, I suppose that time, you know, that night. The night of the crime. What did you just say? Details. I need more details. Well, it was stolen right after Max showed up in the plaza. Right about when you saw the defendant walk past, correct? Guess you might be able to say that. The ring might have, well, it could have been taken around that time. Ben, what's with you? Ah, whatever. There's nothing to do with anything, especially not with who committed the murder. It's not for you to decide what has to do with what. Now, Trilo, back to the topic at hand. I haven't admitted a thing. Not I, Mr. Triloquist. What did you do when the ring was taken, Trilo? You know exactly what I did. I chased after that ring-snatching monkey money. But you weren't able to catch it with him, were you? It's all this slow, loafy fool called Ben's fault. While he was fumbling his way through the snow, that dumb monkey was able to get away. Oh, it is indeed an incredible shame. Well, this does indeed prove one very important point. Prove an important point? What point could that possibly be? Ben doesn't acknowledge. Ben's testimony has a flaw. Yep, there is a huge contradiction in this witness's testimony. Contradiction? The witness just testified to the following effect. Up until the police arrived, he didn't move from the entrance to the plaza. However, the witness just stated he chased after Money the monkey. When the witness was off chasing Money, there was no one watching the plaza. What is the meaning of all this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Where are you going with this little theory of yours? I'm saying that there is no possible way that this witness saw the plaza the entire time. That's where I'm going with this little theory, which leads me to my next point. It is entirely possible that someone other than the defendant was at the scene.
Objection!
Interesting, Mr. Wright. Well then, tell me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Do you have any proof that someone slipped past this vigilant ventriloquist?
Objection!
Yeah, because in this courtroom you don't have to cast a shadow of doubt. You have to prove someone else's guilt. Well, he obviously didn't see the victim, the ringmaster arrive on the scene. However, that doesn't change the fact that he saw the defendant arrive. The witness is lying. He is blinded by his rivalry with Max. Well, the defense's argument does hold water. This witness does have a history of animosity towards the defendant. What? How dare you? I wouldn't lie just to get that dork face in trouble. He's not even worth it. I saw him, no doubt about it. I saw that worthless liar. Just for clarity's sake, let's flesh out exactly what you saw on that night. I've told you so many times, you'd think you'd know my story's not changing. You've already changed your story, stick boy, and I'm sure it will change some more. Where there's one lie, there's usually many more behind it. Exactly, Maya. That's why we have to keep after him. Yeah. And tell Mia to come. I'll give you that I was waiting that night for Now, I'll give you that I was waiting that night for Regina. That doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. He showed up after I'd been waiting there for about 5 minutes. I said good evening to him, but he didn't acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactica at the scene. There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. So that means money didn't show up until after you saw Max. That's right. Money ran up less than a minute after I saw Max. Then Money snatched the ring and you went chasing after him. How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting? Well, let's see. I'd say about, I suppose, 5 minutes, I think. The victim could have arrived on the scene in that 5-minute stretch. Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. What are we cross-examining now? Ready for Regina. Doesn't change, saw Max. That's why he's angry.
Hold it!
So you testified that you said good evening to Max that night. You must enjoy asking incredibly obvious questions. You say good morning in the morning and good afternoon during the day, right? And it's obvious that I'd say good night to someone at night. What, Ben, you've got something to add? Let me guess. That's not it, Trilo. You say good evening at night. I'm sorry, Trilo. Mr. Quist, I'd prefer if you kept your ventriloquist act outside the courtroom. Impossible. Performer lives and breathes in performances. You should know better. Isn't that a bit strange to you? It is to me. What do you mean? Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you be bothered being nice to him? It strikes me as somewhat strange. Why would it strike you as strange? Exactly. How strange to be cordial to one of your co-workers. Well, if I was simply just being cordial to a co-worker, I would understand. Cordial? Cordial. Maybe you should think of having some proof before your lips up for that next time. Proof is everything in this world. You should have learnt that back in grade school. There's no reason that Trilo would ever say something nice to Max. How do I go about proving that with the evidence? Nothing is everything in this world. I guess I can give it a shot. The witness will resume his testimony. Three ridiculous symbols, huh? Out of curiosity, how many times have you asked that question by now? If you're gonna ask again, I'll answer with chorus. Everyone together. Silk hat, cloak, white roses. Thank you very much. It's like fun shouting. It's like fun shouting out with everyone else. Has to be a hole in his testimony somewhere. I agree. Do we have proof? Make something stick? All we can do is try, right, Nick? Gotta have something that will prove useful. we've got the silk hat. Time to go to work. Think. Hey, bro, witness is kind of a dummy. I said good evening to him. He didn't acknowledge. Why? Yeah, you wouldn't say good evening to him when he smacked you with a bottle.
Objection!
The truth is that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder. A fight? A fight over Regina, to be exact. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was just an argument. A disagreement at most. A disagreement usually doesn't end with something getting clonked over the head. That morning, Ben got clobbered over the head by Max, didn't he? What? Is that an admission of assault and battery? Before we handle that, we should wrap up the defendant's murder charge first. A huge fight. There's absolutely no way they would have suddenly become cordial that evening. Moreover, just to consider the personality of the witness on stand, there's no way a puppet this lewd would just up and say good evening to his rival.
Objection!
Are you saying this witness is lying? That he is trying to frame the defendant by claiming to have seen him at the crime scene? I didn't tell a single lie. Honestly, I just... That's enough from you, Mr. Quist. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Let's clarify this testimony for the court. You explain your theory about who the witness actually saw that night. He saw a different person. I mean, okay. If we get asked... Okay. We don't want to say he saw the defendant, because that's just doing the whole... Yes, he saw him, but he could have missed someone else. If we say he didn't see anyone, we have to prove that he's absolutely lying, and we have none. And if we say he saw a different person, we'll get asked, who did he see? And maybe we can present that he saw the victim. And he'll talk about the cloak and the hat, and we can point at the cloak and the hat in the photo of the room. I don't know if we have a photo of the room, but maybe it'll just bring up the screenshot. I don't know. It's my belief that the witness didn't see someone that night. It was just someone else. That's who he said good evening to. What kind of theory is that? The correct one. Furthermore, I don't believe the person the witness saw was Max at all. What? If he had truly met Max that night, there would have been no greeting at all. Which means there is only one proper answer. The person who the witness saw that night was not Maximilian Galactica. And that is why Trilo made the effort to greet whoever it was that he saw that evening. Or good evening, as he put it. What in the world did you... Would the defense kindly explain who it was Trilo saw that evening then? Ah, we said. Don't ask us who.
Take that!
Considering the ill temper of this witness, there is only one person he would greet. Well, he'd greet Regina as well. Must be Regina. It's Regina, right? She's so cute. No, Your Honor. It's not Regina. If it was Regina, Trilo would have given her the engagement ring as a present. Oh, yeah. I suppose you've got a point there. It was Russell Barry, the victim himself, was it not? You are correct, it was indeed Russell Barry. The person you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster Russell Barry. That's why you greeted him, Trilo. Isn't that correct? Answer the question, Mr. Quist. Order. How do you respond to this? Wait a second. Well, at first I thought it was the old man. But once I got a better look, it was obviously Maximum Galactica. I think it's high time that we clear the air about this question. Mr. Quist obviously witnessed a single person in the evening, in the area of the plaza that evening. The problem is identifying exactly who that person was. Was it Maximilian Galactica? Or was it the ringmaster one, Mr. Russell Barry? The prosecution argues that it was the defendant the witness saw that night. The witness has clearly stated he saw the defendant's 3 symbols. 3 symbols. Alright, this one is getting old. Come on, man. You gotta remember them by now. Here we go again, everyone, all together now. Yes, we know. The silk hat, cloak, and white roses.
Objection!
Silk hat, a cloak, anyone could wear them. They'd even look good on me. What was that? This has been endlessly repeated that he saw Max's 3 symbols. However, how does we really know it was Maximum Galactica? It could have been someone else dressed up as him. Possibly even Russell Barry. What? This one calmer. Do you have clear evidence the person the witness saw was the defendant? Well, if that's the case, then it is impossible for me to make a judgment at this point. I think we finally won a point in this one. That is very unfortunate. Huh? It's a little too... You're just a little too excited for your own good, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What do you mean by that? You merely established one thing from this witness. You established that this witness saw one person in the plaza that night. I applaud you on your effort, but... Who that person was can only be answered by the next witness. Huh? Your Honor, the prosecution will provide beyond a shadow of a doubt an answer to that question. And evidence clearly establishes one thing, that there is no other than Maximum Galactica responsible for this crime. Very well. Court will take a 10-minute recess. During that time, I request the prosecution prepare their next witness. Court is now in recess. Oh no. Save your progress.